Today, we're going to be working on rating and ranking the most underrated weapons known to man in the martial arts history. So, basically, there's going to be some martial art weapons here on this whole ranking system that you probably don't even know. And some weapons that have never been talked about. And they're so underrated that I had to make a video about it. So let's get on to it. Also, if you have some weapons that probably have not shown up here and would like to see another video like this too in the future, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below too, and I can go ahead and put some description on some weapons too, because there's a lot of weapons I love to know more about, but you know, I like weapons. I collect a lot of weapons, so I would like to collect some of the weapons that are up here too, especially the second one. But let's go into the first one. First things first, the weapon. Ooh, and this is practically my favorite weapon. And here's a fun fact. I haven't really learned much about the weapon until like last year. And before my Grandmaster passed away, by the way, RIP Grandmaster Jadon Dixon. And he told me that, he saw my channel, see my work, because I'm also working as a martial arts actor. I've been in other projects as well too, and fight scene choreographies and stuff like that too. So he said that, that of course I told him I see myself as a dragon, as because my previous channel name was actually Hermes Dragon. I just love dragons, and he knows that too. And so he said, well, there is a weapon called the Coiling Dragon Staff, which aka it's called the three-section staff as well. So, and there's other names to it too. Feel free to let me know in the comments. But I want to go ahead and say that this right here is my favorite weapon, and I fell in love with it. And he told me to practice with it. He showed me some techniques with it, and I went along with whatever he was showing me there because Grandmaster rules on that. And not only that, seeing an anime just made it seem so beautiful. I mean, you got Maki Zen, and you also got Megumi Fushiguro and his father Toji Fushiguro, who pretty much set the foundation for this weapon. And I wouldn't be least bit surprised if a lot of people who watched Jujutsu Kaisen did not know much about the three-section staff, and after watching all three of those guys, including Toji, I wouldn't be least bit surprised that they actually bought it themselves and practiced. So for my ranking for this, I'm going to put it at the highest, the pinnacle of all weapons, an S rank. Let's go, an S rank weapon. Feels so good. So now you already know my reason why I put it up there too. Because one, not only that, it's also a very versatile weapon, but it can also be detrimental to anybody who uses it and don't know how to use it. It is pretty much if nunchucks and a bow staff had a baby, and the baby took more on the mother's side, which is the nunchucks. But love it. Next on the list, and I kid you not, I'm so glad God of War hinted this for the Egyptian game coming up soon, and I hope it's going to look very well. Like a lot of games have really been lacking now, especially here in the Western society. Shouts out to Tyr, who pulled out these two weapons, the beauty of these two blades, and fought Kratos when he went to Egypt. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Khopesh sword. To be honest, I actually want to get a Khopesh sword because it was also in a movie called the Night in Museum Battle of the Smithsonians, and what they used for that was amazing. I mean, they got Kamun Ra, the evil, was it Akmara? Well, basically the evil brother was using the weapon. He was fighting Larry Daly, who got his butt kicked by a by a night guard. But the Khopesh sword, still effective weapon. Now, I don't know much about the weapon other than the fact that it's an Egyptian weapon, and maybe one side is sharp. I don't know if the other side is pretty much dull. You know what I mean? Like the katana that has one side is dark. It's like it's not a double-edged blade. At least I don't know. Love to just make a Patreon account based off of that, or post some videos up here. You guys can see it. Share our love for the weapons. For the Khopesh swords, I'm gonna rank these because these are very underrated. It's crazy that nowadays, modern day, we can't really carry these weapons around. During warrior times, you walk around with that thing like a badge of honor. But now, if you walk around with that thing on, you get called over by the police officers and get searched. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna put this S rank. And now for the next weapon on the list, we have the famous and the most dangerous, truly iconic to both samurai and ninjas everywhere. And it's been used in pretty much all all movies. Like I can't even think of a Japanese movie that has not, like, Japanese warrior movie that did not had any swords in it or any katanas in that case. So I would say, I'm going to say this. You guys know I'm a dual wielding person. I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't say I won't go for a single wielding weapon. I will. I've trained in that too, but I would say a dual wielding weapon. That's my bread and butter right there. I'm going to go ahead and put a ranking, obviously, because there's no, I mean, there's no debate on it. So it's going to go ahead and go into S tier because it's a katana. We going to deliberate on that. Oh, by the way, the katana thing. Shouts out to Leonardo. Because, I mean, the dual wielding katanas is basically what I would do. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style. Put another Ninja Turtle in there with the 3 section staffs. That character would be OPS freak. And don't say you can't see Toji when you see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with that weapon. Next one on the list. One of my personal favorites. We have the bow staff. Donatello style. But I had to use a guy who plays Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, and also fun fact, he also played in Beverly Hills Ninja as the adopted brother of the White Ninja. The bow staff, by the way, I forgot to mention too. You also remember 3 section staff has been used a lot too in Jet Li's Fearless movie. Highly recommend you watch that. It's very effective. You got a long range, and at the same time, it could work for a close range because let's be honest here. If somebody's spinning a bow staff, even if it may look flashy to you, those people who pretty much like to, troll and say, but it's not going to work in a fight. I also see is you twirling a baton around and stuff like that. Truly, I mean, yeah, you see that, but let's be honest here. If you were fighting that guy with a bow staff, would you really want to try? Never wrong. That twirling stuff right there just shows you were very versatile with your weapon. And versatility is key when it comes to your weapon, especially when it comes to katanas, and weapons are very dangerous. I mean, if you are so comfortable swirling your sword or a katana or a bow staff so close to your body, not afraid of hitting your knee, hitting your head, stabbing yourself, already shows that you are can't even speak, so sure of yourself that you won't even hurt yourself with those weapons. And people just don't know how to. The only thing they know how to do with a staff is pretty much swing it like a bat, or pretty much just poke it like you're poking somebody with a stick. There's still a lot of people that would hesitate if somebody saw somebody spinning a bow staff around a lot. Get my glass spectacles on right here, so I have to go ahead and say that the bow staff themselves is very dangerous, very long range, and can also work in short ranges too. So I would say I would make it an A tier. Also, mental note, guys, it's all fun and games when people start seeing like martial artists, you know, really have fun with the style, at least be able to be more versatile with their weapons. And the first thing going their mind is like, especially people who are on the other side of the spectrum, who were trained a different way, was saying like, what's all that twirling and stuff, and what's all that, that BS that you're doing? That stuff won't work in a real fight. You're twirling that sword around. That won't work in a real fight. I hate to break it to you, but real people in real life, they would think twice before coming after somebody who knows how to twirl a sword. Think about it. People just don't know how to use it. They go like this, ha, ha, like they try to pretend like I'm about to swing a bat. But somebody who knows how to use a katana, who knows how to do the figure 8 spin with it, trust and believe, nobody's gonna fight that guy or girl. Nobody even know how to defend against it. Let's be honest here. I'm gonna go ahead and set the stage right here. I'm gonna go ahead and set the stage right here, right now. All weapons are very difficult for you to absolutely defend yourself against. For real, think about it. Don't even, if people look at a katana and say like nobody know how to use a katana, the freak are we doing? Like that's the one we're gonna fight. You don't know how to defend against it. How would you know? You don't know any techniques on how to disarm somebody with a katana. How would you know? Even with this bow staff, you don't know. 3 section staff, you don't know. Dude, that weapon can hit you even if you try to pick it up. I mean, have not learned from Chris Tucker from Rush Hour 3, who tried to pick up the nunchucks? Exactly. He thought he knew what he was doing. Turned out he didn't. But alas, I digress. We live in a time where people pretty much would love to just demean a weapon. But just because like people are twirling weapons doesn't mean they don't know how to actually use it in like actual fights. When we're posting stuff, especially as martial artists and fighters that we post on social media, you gotta remember, most people, regular people, don't want to see a long tail kata. They will get bored and walk away. I have respect for katas. I grew up with it, and pumseis and a lot of forms too. But at the same time, you all gotta remember that we're talking about other people. They're not going to watch you if you just do like katas and nothing else interesting. They see you, oh cool, you're wearing your gi and stuff. Yeah, skip. They're gonna do that. And I hate to break it to most people, but they're going to do that. So we have to put a little razzle dazzle. I know cheesy, corny the way I said it, but we got to put a little razzle dazzle to put in there. I just set the stage, take it or leave it. Next on to the list. Ooh, the only character I can think of known to mine right now is Nightwing with the Eskrima sticks. You know, kind of think about it. I don't know anybody else that actually uses Eskrima sticks. Like, I don't know any other heroes. I don't think it's been used a lot in movies. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't mind being wrong with that because I would love to see some movies that actually do have some Eskrima stick action in there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's used in Eskrima, Kali, Arnis. So, you know, respect to the weapon. And plus, you can carry around sticks. You know, out of all the weapons that are up here right now, Eskrima sticks are pretty much the only weapon you can pretty much walk around without somebody thinking you're about to hit somebody. Nightwing really has set the bar when it comes to the Eskrima sticks because, you know, he's a master at Kali weapons, especially when it comes to the Eskrima sticks. So I would say definitely they're very effective. Now, I'm going to put this in S tier. Why? You can carry it around. You literally can carry it around. Nobody will literally start thinking that you are carrying a weapon. Nobody, no, even if a police officer happens to just like search and just see you got that. Let's be honest here. The people are gonna be like, say, okay, a stick, or like, hey, that's not a weapon. And by the way, if you made it this far and you would like to go ahead and earn the rank of Genin in the Ambuli community on this channel, go ahead and comment the word Genin, and I'll leave a link under your comment to a video that teaches you how you can actually obtain that in 7 days, at least in the Ambuli community. Also, if you love to go ahead and comment some of your favorite weapons that you have trained with, even whether it's in, you know, Asian cultures or, you know, Eastern cultures, Western cultures, European cultures, Japanese, Russian, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and put it down. I'd love to know more about some weapons. We're gonna go on to the next one, and that is the most underrated weapon, the fan. A lot of people are not really a fan of it, unintended. You guys got to remember that we were talking about a fan here that has been used in wushu martial arts. And I'm not gonna lie, the last time I saw somebody in movies that actually used a fan was pretty much in Karate Kid with Jackie Chan, bars, and Jada Smith. When one of the Wudang, and I'm assuming they're Wudang because they're monks, but they have long hair, and Shaolin monks shave their heads. But Wudang monks, they don't. So, and when they were doing that split with the fan, and you know, it's beautiful. Like I said, like the Eskrima sticks, you can literally walk around with them, and nobody would know you have a weapon. Matter of fact, again, police officers say you have a weapon. Now I have a fan. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. They literally let you get off on a warning because a fan can be used as a weapon, especially if it's, you know, extended like that, or you close it up and you just, you know, strike people with it. A blunt weapon can definitely do a lot of damage. Now the question is, would it be S tier, A, B, C, or D? Now let's see. I don't know if you can fight somebody with the katanas who fight somebody who has katanas with the fan, but I don't see it as a D-listed weapon though. You know what? Just because it was in wushu martial arts, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'll put it in B tier. And that's not saying. Hang on now. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not trying to say that the fan themselves and being in wushu martial arts that it deserves to be at a low rank. And forget my glasses. Like I know they might at some point you might probably see them being crooked, but it's because they broke before during some of my training videos and stuff like that, and I had to put some tape on it. So I gotta get some new ones soon, but just bear with it. I know it looks kind of crooked, but just bear with me, okay? Stop being OCD. Focus on me. Thank you. So I understand that the fan has been used in wushu martial arts, and I'm not demeaning any type of wushu martial arts that use fans. I'm gonna have to put it as B because I don't see it besting a bow staff, and I don't see it besting a katana, 3-section staff, a kopech sword, especially a kopech sword, or even a Eskrima sticks. Maybe it might rival the Eskrima sticks, but I'm gonna put it in B. But next on the list, part of my people, the Dene, Native American weapon that says it all. You know, Nightwolf in freaking Mortal Kombat. We're not going to pretend this weapon don't exist. The freaking tomahawks. I know there's a martial art style out there, especially a Native American martial art style called the Okichita, and I want to learn so much from it. If you don't know anybody like that does teach Okichita, I would love for you to just let me know more about them because I would like to get in contact with them, do a video, go out there, bring a camera guy with me too, and we're gonna have record and just show more about the martial art of the Native American style of Okichita. Ooh, Nightwolf killed it. The dude got the freaking tomahawks. He was the first one into that whole fight, fighting those cybernetic ninjas. He was striking them. Shang chang, guess what? Boom. Headbutt, dive roll, smack it to the knee, back of the head, throw that axe, pow, get right in the face, grabbed it. Guess what? Boom, sting, and then went back in there ferocious like. That was sick. Can't tell me that scene did not get you thinking like, oh, dang, I want to go work out. I want to get some tomahawks and start working on some combos. Ooh, that was good. Can you carry around tomahawks? You can also trap them. You can also slip somebody too, grab them around the back of their ankle. It's going to impale their ankle, but at the same time, you can trip them. I will put the tomahawks S tier. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It is S tier. Fair. I have some tomahawks right here with me too. They were gift from my grandmother before she passed away. Because back in her grandfather taught her how to use them and taught my mother how to use them and then passed it on to me. So, get you said it's a family tradition. Now, ooh, hang on a second. We can't forget my type of weapon, the kamas. Let's go ahead and say that with the kamas, oh my gosh, we've seen a lot. I mean, I see Kusari Gama like type of deal. You seen that Ghost Rider, with the Latino one. Can't remember his name. Robbie Rodriguez. There's Robbie Garcia. I can't remember his name. Dang. He's a Marvel character. Hopefully he comes to Marvel Rivals soon. He used the commas. Or at least the chains that were used like the Kusari Kama. Even though the Kusari Kama is pretty much a comma with a chain and a metal ball at the end. But very successful. I might do that next video with the Kusari Kama. If you want to see that, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe. I remember my brother, he's in Japan right now. And he showed me a video. I saw it before, but he actually went to one of their shows. It was a ninja show where they showed some of the kunoichi and the male ninjas from the Iga time where they're using the commas, and there was a rope at the end of the commas. The dude was spinning around. Ooh, that was so cool. Of course they had to add a little humor to it. Because if you're putting on a performance for people to actually want to watch your stuff, to do stuff, you become more dangerous. I mean, for me personally, I think if you see a performer use weapons and they pretty much make it look like it's all theatrical and stuff like that, I still think they're very dangerous. If they're very comfortable with twirling it around, they're also very comfortable with stabbing people with it or hurting somebody with it, but they choose not to. It's better to have that knowledge than not need it than to need it and not have it. In fact, it was my bread and butter growing up as a kid. My first weapons that I grew up as a young child, a wee lad, were the commas. I grew so fond of them, and I loved it. I used them most of my tournaments. They loved it, how I was like able to strike, and stab with it. Oh my gosh. My mother and my father were very proud. So the Grandmaster. And I will still keep using them to this day. Matter of fact, if I had kids, I would teach them too how to use it. But is there any other functions they could be used for? Like, sure, they're good for stabbing and hooking people in and stuff like that too. But for defensive weapons, probably might have a little bit of a not a big edge on that. So as much as I love them, I'm gonna have to put them in A tier. A tier. Yep. A tier. And I know some people probably gonna be hating on these ratings, but these are my ratings. These are my opinions. Comment down in the comments down below your opinions on it. But you gotta be respectful though. Even though I'm putting these ratings, that doesn't mean I am demeaning these weapons, nor the cultures they came from. So be respectful on that. But this is the conversation between other martial artists and other weapon fanatics. So if you have your own way of what you think about it, go ahead and put down in the comments. Get a conversation going. Next on the freaking weapons chart, we have Michelangelo's weapon, nunchaku. Also Bruce Lee weapon. We've seen Bruce Lee definitely use his weapons multiple times, especially in, I think it was Enter the Dragon, and I think it was Way of the Dragon he used it. No, I don't think it was Way of the Dragon. No, I think it was Enter the Dragon. It was the one where he was pretty much fighting Chuck Norris, before that, actually, it was when he went to Italy and he was fighting the gangsters, the mafia there. So yeah, for that one, he used nunchucks. And if you look closely at how he held those nunchucks, you could definitely see that when he was twirling them around, he wasn't twirling them like how you see in like extreme competitions of martial arts. You see him literally grabbing that near the hilt of it because he's trying to reach his opponents. Even though you see somebody with the nunchucks and they're pretty much holding it like from the let's pretend for time being that this is a nunchuck. If you see them hold the nunchuck from the very like far end right here, this right here you get more range because in that movie Bruce Lee was trying to reach his opponents, not try to show off too much. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, you got some people that hold the nunchucks a little closer right here so they can do some twirls, especially the chain spin around the thumbs and stuff like that. Awesome. By the way, please do not put in the comments saying, well, gun trumps all of them because I know somebody's going to do it. I know they are. As a son of a police officer, a former police officer, my father retired from police officer, being a police officer. He loved guns, but he always made sure that everyone, his kids, including yours truly, learn how to throw those hands first. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have a gun and then somebody try to throw the ones, pick up the hands up and try to fight you, but you went straight to the gun, dude, be a freaking man. Here's the thing. I don't disrespect people who use guns, but at least show that you know how to throw hands and not just bullets. You know what I mean? Come on, let our ancestors know that they did not work hard and struggle and went through all that depression, all that crap, and all that freaking bloodshed and everything like that just so they can see you pick up a gun and try to go the easy route. Come on now. I mean, I understand that we're not living in those days anymore where we're like killing everybody too, but at least know how to throw hands. Have you not learned from Friday, my friend? Gun don't make you a man. These. These will make you a man. Take my glasses off. These will make you a man. You win some, you lose some, but you live. Live to fight another day. And what did Ice Cube say after he asked him this question? You think you're a man with that gun, huh? I'm a man without it. Then prove it. Put a gun to your side. But let me put it this way. If your first reaction during a squabble is to pick up your gun first, like for instance, let's say for instance you were fighting somebody, or at least somebody trying to fight you and they got their hands out, would you A, put up your hands first and start throwing your hands too, especially if it means to especially there's no other option, because I know the other only option you have is to get away from that situation, but let's just say there's no other option. Obviously in martial arts we say run, go, don't be in that situation, get out of that situation. But let's just say for this scenario, for time being, would you either A, put up your hands and actually throw those hands, and or feet, knees, elbows, or headbutts if you want to, headbutt that mother truck and show that you know how to hold your own, or B, pull out the gun first, pretending that you are a macho man, but you pulled out the gun before you picked up your hands. Bars. Which would you choose? I'll put them A to the freak. No, that D, put it A, dang. Imagine walking up to somebody and you just having a conversation, you're a weapons dude and they're weapons too, and they just pull out one of these weapons. You're like, wow. You carry them around, don't you? Yeah. At that moment, you start thinking like, dang, maybe I should do that. Hopefully, I don't get pulled over. Hopefully, I don't get pulled over. Next up on the list. Now, I don't know much about this weapon, though. Double edge battle axe. So also, Vikings have used it a lot. And, well, we could say right here, I mean, it's very effective. But defense-wise, probably not. Because, it's, you don't, and I think it's very heavy. You got to be careful with it, too. Because if you just swing that thing and you miss, well, you miss. Now, the tier-wise, I would say that they pretty much are seat side now. But see, I already got you right now. Okay, no. I put in an S tier because not many people know how to defend against this weapon, and that right there is also very, very much useful because let's be honest here. If somebody swings that around, what are you gonna do? And don't say pull out a gun. Please do not be the coward out here. Having the gun doesn't make you a coward, but pulling that out first before your hands will make you a coward. That means what's gonna happen if that gun wasn't at your person? What if you forgot to bring it out of your house by the time you left that house? Guess what? Now you're on your own. That means you have to pick up your hands, and if you're afraid to throw them hands, That's your last stand, my friend. Bars. I try to make that rhyme as best I can. The next one on the list. I remember Grandmaster uses a lot, and he taught us how to use this too. I never really find interest in using this weapon because, I wasn't really into this type of weapon. But the weapon I'm talking about right now is a cane. Now, hear me out. Why I say it's underrated, because you can hide anything in that thing. I mean, think about it. If it's a cane, you can literally pull out a freaking blade. The handle can be a cartridge where you can pull the freaking blade out. In other martial art styles, I think Bartitsu teaches that too, of what I call it the lost martial art style of Sherlock Holmes, the gentleman's way of fighting. I think you see JP off of Street Fighter, they use it a lot, so you definitely could say it's very effective. And not only that, you can walk around with it. Cops will pull you over and they will say, okay, you got a cane. They probably think you're handicapped. You really don't need it. But you just keep it around. Maybe just for fun's sake, probably. But they don't care. As long as you're not trying to hit anybody with it. And it is a weapon. Weapons you don't see coming can be the most dangerous weapon out there. Weapons you don't see coming can be the most dangerous weapon out there. And I was about to put the cane in like C tier. But then there are other opportunities you can absolutely use with the cane. And I'm not gonna lie to you, growing up in a dojo, I remember there's some older folks who they look like they're frail old men. They trust me, they're not frail. They like, oh no, I dropped my stick or I dropped the cane. Oh no, you don't want to rob me. I got a bad leg. It's don't hurt me. No, that's a trick, bros. Don't fall for it. They gonna whoop you with that cane as soon as you get close. They know how to use that cane. Don't fall for it, bro. That's why I don't trust any old men out here walking or any old women walking around here with canes. If you ever get hit with a cane in the face, it don't feel good. Goes right to the groin, to the neck, to the throat, to the head, everywhere. Handicapped people be using this stuff and you still be dangerous. Don't fall for it. And for that, S tier. I'm putting that cane in the S tier lane. Bars. And now, I can't wait to talk about this one. Electra Nachos weapon. We're talking about the Rouge Burgundy Red Female Assassin. Just chef's kiss. The size. And I know I'm not going to neglect my bro Raphael on this, but we got to talk about Electra on this. Not only that, it's a very effective weapon because the prongs on both sides, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't they also used for trapping weapons too? The trap swords, bow staves, sticks, or whatever that's coming your way, and you use it to, it's kind of like a pitchfork, pretty much. I have size right here, right now. And you've seen Raphael had definitely set the foundation for the weapons as well, too. Both Electra and Raphael have set the basis and the foundations for the side. I'm not gonna lie, we should have another Electra movie. And no offense to the lady who plays Electra in the Daredevil TV show series. No offense to her, but I don't see her as Electra. I really don't. Jennifer Garner was way more of Electra than she was. If you compare her to the comics, Electra is a physically fit, big chichis, big bootied, thick bodied, not thick, but thick bodied, curvy woman. The woman who played her, I'm not saying she's a terrible actress, but I just don't think that role was well for her. She had a grown woman face, but a little girl body. That's why I hate when they're doing that. Like Chica, if you're gonna play a character that's based off a comic book series, get some booty cheeks, get some chichis. And I know it's being perverted, but let's be honest here. We were all thinking it. We all want the character. If you sign up to be a character, we all want the character to look almost dang near similar to what we saw in a comic book series. If you signed up to play a character in a TV show series or in a movies, you're gonna have to put in that work. That's what we need back in the movies too. I mean, look at Taz Skylar. All right, that's the name. The guy who played Sanji from One Piece live action. That dude had to learn how to cook extravagant dishes, and he also know how to learn how to do Taekwondo, martial arts. He kept up with his physique and his fitness throughout the entire production. He did not let up to a point where he lives and breathes the role Sanji. That's what we need. Please, somebody in the comments, tell me a freaking actress that can literally play, and I'm talking about an actress that can play the role of Electra. And I'm not talking like skinny woman. I'm talking like she does have some chichis. Cause think about it, she gotta have some chichis and a thick booty. She don't have to be thick, but just like it look like she can be acrobatic. She got to also be acrobatic. She got to have martial arts background. If not, that can be taught. These are skills that can be taught. She also has to not be skinny. Because I'm getting tired of seeing. I'm sorry, but I'm getting tired of these skinny ladies being in these movies, and they don't put forth more effort to look like the characters themselves. They look like a really mini skinny version of these ladies, and I don't like it. You gotta be body goals. Make something for us guys to love, and the women will follow because we know what we want in women. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the A tier. Shouts out to Jennifer Garner playing Elektra, and shouts out to character Elektra and Raphael. Next up on the list, and we're almost done, we have, if I'm correct, the mace. I don't know much about this weapon other than the fact that it was also used in their medieval times, also in knightly times. The knights of the round table. They use this mace a lot, so it's very effective. It's like a nunchuck, but instead of it being another stick on the end, it's just a metal spiked ball and a chain. It's very effective, but if you're not careful, it could hurt. I'll put the mace A tier. A tier, yeah. The final one, and this one here is a little bit of a wild card because it's a far-fetched one, but this one here hasn't been talked about a lot. This weapon you probably have seen a lot in Devil May Cry series. Dante has used this weapon multiple times. The Sanokans. San, 3 sticks. San 3, so Sanokans. Hopefully I can pronounce that right. You probably would think like, wait a minute, this was an actual weapon? Yeah, it actually is a weapon. And it hasn't really been talked about a lot. And I would love to buy myself a Sonokan and put it on the channel too. And this is pretty much like if Bowstaff and the nunchucks had another child. It looks mostly more like the staff because it's still said 3 section staff. Now it's taking more of the mother side, which is the nunchucks. Now there's 3 of them instead of just being 2. Now the Sakotan. Sakotan? Sonokan. See, I'm already freaking up the name. These are very ambiguous weapons, and when it comes to self-defense, being ambiguous in a fight is very useful because your opponent don't know how to defend against this stuff. Just like with capoeira, capoeira was actually used to throw off the opponents, aka the guards that was pretty much keep an eye on the African slaves in Brazil, and they had to disguise their attacks, their techniques, their kicks and punches in a form of dance. So if they walk right by, they see, oh, it's just a bunch of African slaves just dancing around. Okay, no problem there. But they were, little did they know, it's actually a great tactic to actually deceive their opponent and let them know that they're just dancing. But in reality, they are actually fighting. They're actually sparring with each other. Because let's be honest here, you do not want to fight at a capoeiristas. You don't. You don't. Even if you think you do know what you're doing, you don't. If any one of those mother truckers did like meio de passo, you don't even know what that is. I said it in Portuguese, and I probably might have freaked up to how to spell it and how to say it. But let's be honest here, if they did that move, you wouldn't know what to do. They the ao de coluna and do the armada or the de frente. Either way, you wouldn't know what to do with those things because as soon as you hear those things, they're English words, and the Western side like, oh, I don't know, duh, I don't know what is going on here. and then guess what? Too late. You got a heel kick to the back of the head. Next you notice, you got tripped. Next you notice, they're upping your business, and then they knocked you down, and you have no idea what happened. Same goes for this Sanokans. You got one right here under your armpit, one on your right hand, and one above. I'm not gonna lie, after seeing how Dante did it in Devil May Cry, the earlier series, and then later on in the series, in Cerberus, I'm not gonna lie to you, they look so cool. I really want to buy one. I really want to buy one and do a video on it and practice with it. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and put these things up here. Wait. Dang, I was about to put S tier. You know what? Yeah, put S tier. Because not many people know how to defend against these weapons. And not many people know how to use these weapons. And the fact that somebody who could actually know how to use these weapons actually know how to defend against people with these weapons are very dangerous. Because if you picked them up, you don't know how to use it. But if they picked it up, they're very dangerous. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There goes the listings. And if you'd like to see more about this, hang on before you click off, because I know you're about to click off. If you'd like to go ahead and see more videos like this too, you know, to talk about a discussion of weapons and martial weapons, we might even bring some more stuff up here too. I might even bring some audience members up here too. You never know. So if you like to go ahead and see like more martial art weapons, martial art videos, heck, you probably say martial art movies. Like any movies you have in mind that are martial arts based and you like to go ahead and put them in rankings too, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we can go ahead and make a video about that as well. Heck, an anime too. I make one about anime as well. Martial arts content is what this channel is about. So that's what we're doing. And I thank you so much for making it this far and watching it with me. And I really do appreciate you all. We made it over 16,000 subscribers. Let's freaking go. And I really do appreciate you all so much. You don't even know how much this means to me. And hopefully you will all still keep supporting my channel and help make this international. I'm talking take this over countries, overseas. And of course, take it to the movies. Yeah. But like I said, that's all I had to say. Take care.